right in the heart of so.
Okay, this is like bonus. I didn't know where to put some of this stuff. You got to. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts. Okay, so whether you have custody, you don't. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts. Um, whether that be family, whether that be friends, whether that be relationships. You know, because this is not an ideal situation, you're gonna have things that go on that you might not even know of, or they might not come up at first. You're gonna have people helping the situation. You're gonna have people hurting the situation, and they might be there when you find out, and they might be long gone when you find out. It's a lot of moving parts. um, you might have situations where, and I hate to say this, people people might be making decisions because of their egos. They might be making decisions because of anger. They might be making decisions because of desperation, and now you're on the other end of what's going on, or you might be the person making those decisions because of those things, and all of those things affect the kid or the children, and affect the situation, and you might not know what to do. Sometimes people, there's so many moving parts, people don't know the effects because you don't know which thing is the best or the worst thing, because it could be something major, it could be something minor. It's a lot of moving parts. um, in the court situation, it's a lot of moving parts, you know because people are putting their best foot forward. People are trying to um, hide stuff to make themselves to make themselves look better. People are trying to pin things on other people that are right, and the things that are wrong, just to get more of a leg up, without even thinking about when the situation is over. If you lied on somebody, it'll never be the same. If you told the truth and that's what it was, and fine, whatever happens happens. But when you break the trust in these situations, people are never coming back, and it'll never be the same. They won't treat you the same. They won't treat the situation the same. It's a lot of moving parts. You have people who their family history comes into play, how they were raised, their upbringing, their morals, their principles. You know, and it's those things versus your upbringing and your morals and your principles. And like I said before, that goes for the family that's involved and the friends that's involved. It's a lot of moving parts, man. Teachers that come into play. If they play sports, coaches. You don't. The craziest thing about it is you don't know how much television and music may influence this. You don't know. They might be making decisions because they think something's cool. You don't know how much their friends and their relationship with their friends could help or hurt whatever's going on in the situation. You could have friends going the right way, you could have friends going the wrong way, or the kids could have friends going the right or wrong way. It's a lot of moving parts. And you just gotta, sometimes you're reacting when you're trying to be proactive to one thing, you might be reacting to something else. And sometimes, you know, you don't know what to do. And sometimes it's a situation where somebody has an agenda. And if somebody has an agenda, they don't care that the kid's collateral damage. That's all the kid is collateral damage. Whatever that is, physically, mentally, emotionally, doesn't matter. And now you have to fix that situation. That's why I said it's a lot of things that go on over time, that this connects to that and that connects to this. And the attitude might change for the better or worse because of these factors. And you don't you might have a few of them, but you don't have all the information to connect all of them to figure it out. um you have people, you know creating chaos, and you have people covering up the chaos, and you won't necessarily get a straight situation. And that goes for both parties. In this whole thing, it goes for both parties. You have You might get in relationships, and people in the relationships might help the situation, or they might hurt the situation, and it affects this whole thing. And all you can do is your best with what you understand at that moment. And then again, you might have another issue, and that issue might be that you might be more involved in the situation or less involved in the situation, and people have to deal with that too. So this goes a bunch of different directions. Anything can happen. Hold on for a second. What I'm getting at is, you need to know who you're dealing with, and sometimes you're gonna know who you're dealing with after the fact. Even with your own child, you know, you got to know both parents. You got to know who you're dealing with, what they're capable of. You got to know what their families are capable of, what their friends are capable of. You got, because it will influence, the kids in the situation. You got to, and all of that is just part of this whole machine. You have to figure out who has their best interests at heart and who has, their worst at heart within your, even within your family and friend circle. it's it's a sometimes it's a constant worry, because sometimes you might be making up things in your mind, and that's part of the process. You and your issues or anxieties, or sometimes you might overthink it, or you know be blinded by your ego or hatred for the other people, that you might make something up and react to that, and then it creates a mess. So it's a lot of moving parts, man. You might be going through a financial issue, or they might be going through a financial issue, like, and their attitude completely changes, just completely changes, and you trying to figure out what's going on, and it affects everything. And on top of that, you have people who don't apologize or don't say what's really going on, and you have people who do, you know. So it's a constant challenge, because you don't know how situations are gonna. You can't predict how things are gonna end, because you don't know what's the influence. And that's when you're even involved. It's not like, I'm not talking like when people are not around. When people are around, it's a lot of these moving parts, because you might have um, a situation where one parent might feel they're protecting themselves from the other parent, and I didn't need you to know this because you might respond this way, or vice versa. And it really just creates a bad situation. But I'm a like, that's bonus stuff. I'm gonna just leave that at that and make a few more. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.